Hey all, Cynthia here from MB Pretty Papers, back with the next layout in the Colour Theory series that I am doing with Caitlin from Grey Florals. So this week is a black and white. So I've gone through all my scrap paper and I've pulled out my black and white piles, so you see them all off there onto the right hand side. And my plan is to try to use as much of those as I possibly can. But I also had the black and white script font paper and the one that I'm currently using at the moment to lay behind my photo in the current kit that I received from Kitaholics Kit Club. So that was my March kit. So I've pulled those out and thought I would try to see if I can use those as well. And I've just pulled this black cardstock out from my stash. Don't really know what I'm going to use. I have an idea that I want to use some strips behind the photo somehow. I want to use up some of the scrap papers as layers behind the photo, and that's what I'm starting to do. But do I want to put it all on the black cardstock, all on this white specialty paper? It's actually embossed with some florals as well. Or do I want to go onto this scripty font paper? That's why I'm deciding what I'm going to do. I pull out this black and white polka dot. Words do escape me every time I go to do a voiceover. It is tissue paper, that's what it is. And I thought I would tear that down and use that behind the photo, but in the end I don't use it, so thought I would, but it just doesn't quite make it in the end. So I've decided that so I've mounted the photo on that black and white floral, and now I'm going to mount it on white cardstock as well, because I think I've decided that I will use this black cardstock as the background paper. So just going through my stash and trimming down some strips, making them around about a 1.5 inch thick, I think thereabouts. The majority of them, obviously that one's not, but where I could, that was roughly the thickness I made, and just going through now to see what else I can use. So I have the pieces that I think I'm going to use, and I shuffled them around for a little while and come up with a design that I think I decided that I would like. Going to mount my photo on some foam just to give it a little bit of dimension on the page, and here's my attempt at trying to use the tape on the back of the photo to glue down all the strips, but that didn't work, so I had to stop and glue them down individually. Decided that I will use this doily in the background. Had to trim down the papers a little bit so they would fit on the doily, but I've done that. And now I'm just laying up some little bits and pieces on the bottom of the page. So just some little strips that I had left over. So bringing that same element that's behind the photos of the strips of paper to the bottom of the page as well. Have this acetate sheet that was from Kaiser Craft. I think that I got that a few months ago in one of the kits that I received. Has these butterflies on it, so I decided to trim out 2 butterflies, and I will mount these on white cardstock just so they stand out that little bit more, and then I'll fussy cut them out again. I don't make you watch me do all that. I think you see me run them through the Xyron label maker, and then I sort of cut away and trim them out again. So this is the second last layout in this series. Next week is the last one, and that is going to be brown and craft colours. So I'll looking forward to doing that one. Now Caitlin has sent her apologies for this week. Something has popped up in her life and she's not able to do this week's layout. So if she gets some time, she may do it, but it certainly won't be going up on Saturday at her normal time. But she will be back next week to do the last of the layout, so look forward to that. There we go. So I've just mounted those butterflies on the white cardstock that I spoke about, and now I'm just putting them down where I think they might be. I've gone through the puffy stickers, I would say, but they're word scripts, and I've pulled out the title, which I'm just going to say Beautiful Life, because I am determined that I will use those words, because I've had a few of them before and I really struggle just to make a title out of them. So I'm just going to go with the flow, and this is what it's going to be. Pulled out my black and white embellishments here, and I just go through them all and pull out a big stack that I think that I might use. I don't make you watch me do all those. I just get a little tray full there, and I'll come back in a minute to see what I can use. Put out the stamps and decided that I'm going to stamp up this little floral arrangement here, and it comes with a little jar as well, so I'll stamp that out and fussy cut that out, and I thought I would use that on the page. I kind of use it, but you'll see in a moment that I sort of swap it out a little bit, but I use the concept. There we go, fussy cut all those out, and I've just cut a little slit in the top of the jar to be able to thread the floral piece down through there so it looks natural, and I'm liking the way that's looking. Just there, I think, is where I decided at this point that I'm going to have it. So now this is where I go through what I've pulled out to see what I can use. And I pull out this little flower and I think, oh, that looks quite nice too. And I decide to swap out the one I stamped for this one here. Go through to see what else I can use. I put this happened and the date just where it is right now, and that's where I do my tiny little bit of journaling. And I think the only other thing I use from the bits and pieces I pulled out is this little tab here. I set that right up the top and I write the date in that bit there. So the layout's coming together quite quickly. I don't really do too much more. I pull out these stickers here and put a few little hearts around the place. Some of the black hearts I put against the white background, and some of the white hearts I put on the black background, and that pretty much is all I do. I come in now and do my journaling, glue it all, tape it all down, do the journaling, and I'm done. I just popped off to turn the hot glue gun on because I know I'm going to use the hot glue to glue down my butterflies. And that's it. So I hope you have been enjoying the series. Well, I know you have. So both Caitlin and I have been getting some fantastic feedback about the series, and you have certainly enjoyed so far. So I will certainly be looking forward to doing the last one next week, but I also will be a little bit sad that it's going to come to an end as well. If you have stuck with me this far, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I love reading your comment and entering in your questions. If you haven't already, jump on and subscribe to my channel, NB Pretty Papers, make sure you jump over and have a look at Caitlin's previous layouts for this series, and stay tuned for next week when we tackle the last in this series. As I said, it's going to be Brown and Craft. Until then, everyone have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month, and I'll talk to you next time. Catch you then. Bye.